my tip top. And if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop.
Welcome to In the Vibe. You are here on episode number 12. Wow, 12. We made it this far. Woo! Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Your love, your support, and still don't forget to subscribe.
That's right, because I'm Bass B.
And I'm DIZZ-E.
And we are
In the Vibe. You can check us out on TikTok,
Twitter,
Instagram, and don't forget to check out our other channel, Critical Opinion, where we bring you our beautiful, epic voice and rap history. Creative rap history.
Always.
Also, just to let you know, our first song is going to be released in about a week. Okay, we're just doing the final touches on it, and it's the title, Way Back.
Way back.
Way back. Every couple of weeks, or 3, 4 weeks, we're going to be releasing a new song and keep you in the vibe. And we'll release the first song here, right here on In the Vibe. I hope you're all here and ready to hear it. Okay, and you're ready. That's how I'm excited. It's gonna be good. I'm excited, man. Right? We get our first song out again after 2 years.
It's been a long
It's been
time.
2 years since we released our first album.
It's been a
Can
long
you believe
time.
that?
No, and you know, time has flew by, and we got to keep it going, don't
If
we?
you haven't heard our songs on our first album,
Yes.
it's called Blocks. Forgive the voice because I didn't have any voice training at the time, but now I got some voice training, and we're really excited about that. That's why I'm really hyper today,
Yeah, that's right.
because
That's right.
we got to listen to the mix today, and wow, it sounded off the hook.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will also be doing a little video during the coming weeks, right?
Yes.
Where we'll have the whole album, little bits and pieces from each song, so you can sort of sample it beforehand. Okay, oh my. Anyways, so
What's been happening?
what's been happening this week? Oh man,
We were
the
just
top
talking.
of the news, top of the news. Everybody's talking about it,
Yeah.
right? And you know what? This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right?
Again
And you all
again.
know another shooting, right? The whole hip hop community reacted to
Yeah,
this
everyone
deadly
is,
shooting.
you
Senators reacted to it from the Democrat side, okay? And also other stars, people, just generally everybody just had a real foul reaction to this, and sad because everybody's tired of hearing people's condolences, people's oh, we're sorry to hear this, let's have that silent for 1 minute type of thing. Forget the silence, okay? Let's actually start yelling and screaming, okay? And get those 50 senators from the Republican side to start changing. You know, you only need actually 7 votes
Well,
from
you
the
know,
Republican
that's
side.
the problem.
7 votes from the Republican side
Yeah.
to make the change.
You know, that's the problem. Yeah. We have about 2 senators for each state, so it's 100 senators.
107. Yeah.
So, but
there's-
the problem
that's why they
is,
got 59.
That's right. That's
right? And or they got 49 on the Republican plus the Kamala Harris.
Yes.
That makes it 50, and they have 50 on the other side. But the other side is not budging. But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Hey, you want your abortion taken off? Guess who votes really quickly? Republicans.
Yes.
You want no immigrants come into the country? Republicans will vote that out. Republicans will vote out what they want, but they won't allow what's real important to be voted out. We do want to send our condolences to the family.
For many of you who don't understand what we're talking about, I'm sure you've seen it on the news. It was reported that 18 children have been killed, and also 3 adults.
Four. It's been updated to 4.
Four, yeah. So
Four
see, the
adults.
numbers are changing, and it's just it says that it was done by an 18-year-old. I can't say the name, but he's from Mexican, maybe
Hispanic,
Latino, Hispanic. We're not sure yet. So
yeah, but
just,
you watch the
yes.
Republicans. They're gonna put it on all those people coming across the border and saying, "See, this is what happens when you get immigrants coming to your country."
That's right.
Everybody's gonna talk about this for a week. Next week, everybody's gonna forget about it because something else is gonna come up, and we forget everything. This happened with the Sandy Hook,
That's right.
right? Every politician, yeah, we're gonna do something about it. Nothing happened.
90% of the community in the States, we all agree on background checks. But not even with background checks, we even think about there should be gun reform laws.
Yeah.
But it's the senators.
50 senators are holding everybody hostage.
Yes.
Holding the whole country hostage.
Yes.
Okay, because they want people killed because they are fishing for more money from the NRA, and they're pulling more from the gun lovers, and they get all these money from all these for their campaigns. All of the mass murders, all these shooters and school shooters are American born. Not a single one is a foreigner. Not a single one is across from the border from Mexico. Not a single person is from a gang. Okay, so this is the thing you guys have to remember. The Republicans are going to try to use all these excuses, man, and they're going to try to blame immigrants. They're going to try to blame poverty. They're going to blame mental health issues. These things need to be addressed. But you know what? Here's the news. Write in the comments if you have in your country mental issues, and if that people from those mental issues or psychological issues or emotional issues go out and kill kids in school. I'd like to know. I doubt it very much. I don't think not a single country outside of America has this problem. Our condolences to the family, right? And we really feel for you, right?
Yes. One minor mistake from last week. It was supposedly said from me that I thought that the guy from the one in the Buffalo shooting drove all the way from Los Angeles to Buffalo. I saw it from some sources online, but it seems like it's changing, and that's the problem. Sometimes these sources change from end to end.
So he was actually from New York and then went to Buffalo. Right. So within the vicinity of New York. So still in the state of New York.
So we'll keep it going.
Okay, let's go on to some happier and some interesting news. Rick Ross. Rick Ross. Okay, we've talked about him on the show. He had that big car show. It was a blast. It was a success. Okay, guess what he's doing now?
What's he doing?
Guess what he's doing? He's saying bye to Epic Records. Okay, he's leaving Epic Records.
Yes.
I think he's had enough of their crap. They made him quite popular. He's done well, but now he's moving on. And there's a rumor that he possibly might go to Def Jam.
Oh, Def Jam.
Def Jam. I think he belongs there.
This Ricky Rose guy who is just making hits, so I don't blame him for going there. Yeah. So why not?
Yeah. Oh man, this guy is like he's magical with his lyrics, with his beats, right? And so he's not a one act. He's like a beat maker, a rapper, entrepreneur. He's everything. Okay,
Just keep it going.
So keep it going, Rick Ross. Congratulations and good luck. We don't know where you're going for sure, but if it is Def Jam, man, good luck. Okay, have a great time. I can't wait to hear your next two albums. Because he's going to drop two albums. He said he's ready to drop 2 albums. We're ready to drop 5.
We're going against you, Ricky. No. So,
okay, and then what else? Okay,
the WWE.
WWE. Okay, and this is our WWE news.
Well, I can't sound like Hulk Hogan. I can do Macho Man.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, this is the WWE News. I'm your host, Bass P and DIZZ-E right here. Yeah, brother, dig it. So,
Eat your vitamins and let your exercise and let your pythons go wild loose on you. So check out our WWE news. Oh yeah.
So it seems to be official that we have the Unified Tag Team Champions.
I can't believe it, man. Like, I'm glad. This is what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Usos getting Unified Champions. This is awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is historical,
Yeah.
right? It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Oh, hey, man.
Okay, if you haven't seen this, if you haven't watched it yet, I feel really bad for just giving you the spoiler. But They're now unified champions.
So I believe
That's like Roman Reigns unified the WWE Men's Championship.
titles.
Okay, and then now the Usos, they're the tribal chiefs.
That's what
Right?
I'm expecting. I'm thinking like the whole tribe will come back with Naomi, but now we have this issue with Naomi and Sasha Banks.
Yeah, they left.
They left
Right?
their
Their
titles.
titles?
They weren't agreeing with the writing, the scripts of what's going on with them.
Do you know what happened?
From what I was told, that they were tag teaming with the other female wrestlers, and they didn't like the way the story was going. That they were just being like some dope, not being respected enough with their titles.
Well, I heard that it was, I read something a little bit different,
Yeah.
but something similar. But what they were doing is that night when they showed up on Monday night, they were told that there was going to be a 6 women's
right.
tag team match,
That's right.
6 people fighting. And that, but it was for the women's champion. Who's going to go up for the women's champion? So they're going to. It was almost, why would they put 2 tag team champions in a singles match, fighting against each other to go for the women's match? So they thought that
really
was.
confusing.
They felt that was a little bit off, right? Because why would you do that? Like that's never happened. Why? Because what if Naomi won?
Yeah.
What if Sasha Banks won? They just. I think you know what it is. They didn't have enough women, right? Big names, right? So they put them in there. They were not going to win because they're tag team champions, but it's a waste of time, right? Put them in a match. Put them in a match. They and their chemistry is awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
I think.
But I'm sorry to see them gone. Okay, I hope that this is just temporarily and they'll come back, right? And because Naomi is on her way.
Yeah. This is her time. This is what I'm worried about, because I believe WWE is making a bigger deal out of it. They're getting upset because they canceled it on the last minute, and that's what they're saying. How dare you do that with us? You should let us know before. But you know they had 8 hours to prepare. But
8 hours, but still, like they knew all the other girls and everything. They know what was going to happen, but it wasn't about the girls, the other women wrestlers. It was about the way they were brought into something that they weren't. That wasn't written for them originally, right? So I understand that, right? Okay, and that's our WWE news.
ooh yeah. So what else?
Seriously, it was just the end.
Ooh yeah. Dig it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh,
Yeah.
another thing, right? You know Tyler Perry?
Yeah.
Right? He's got some wicked movies. If you haven't
Loves
seen
movies.
Tyler Perry's movies, okay, go check them out on stream. They're on all the streaming, Netflix, everywhere, right? This guy is a phenomenal actor,
Yeah.
right? Writes phenomenal scripts. Right, I love watching his shows, right? And
Shows and movies.
every one of them, I think I've seen every single one of them, right? And movies and TV series, right? So Meet the Browns, right?
Browns.
Yeah. And anyway, so apparently some guy called into their studio and the secretary answered the phone and he was demanding to speak to somebody and she said, no, and he was being rude and so she hung up and blocked, but he kept calling so she blocked him. Right, and then he left a message because after a block it goes straight to voicemail.
Yeah.
So he left a message that he was going to blow up their studio. Right, the gentleman was arrested. Okay, and he's out on bond for $5,000, but it was just a threat. I don't think he was actually going to blow his studio up. But you never know.
Yeah, you can't take a lot of
Psychos
it.
are psychos. So
Yeah.
the police did react positively. They arrested the man, and so I'm sure this will be coming up in more news later on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Are we putting in the spotlight today?
We are going to talk about this fire of dynamite in a small package. Her name is
Fire and
Lady-
desire.
But her name is Lady T. Teena Marie.
Ooh! We talked a little bit about her in
Yes,
a
we
previous episode with Rick James.
That's right. Yes, we did.
The Funkadelic.
Yes, and this lady, I mean, there is no woman like her, period. Even to this day, this woman produced, this woman played many musical instruments, self-taught, by the way. Her singing vocal range is off the charts. I mean, this combination all in one.
Well, originally when people heard her voice,
Yeah.
right, they thought she was black.
Yes,
Right?
I
They
did
thought she
too.
was
I did
soul.
too.
They thought she was a soul black singer,
Yes.
funkadelic,
Yes.
and then even in the first album,
Yes,
they didn't actually put a picture on it.
that's right.
They,
That's
they
right.
just because the owner of Motown,
Barry Gordy.
Barry Gordy
Yeah.
said, we're not going to put any picture. We want people to appreciate her voice, fall in love with her voice,
Yeah.
and then we'll release, like, show them who the voice comes from.
Yeah.
People could not believe that this voice was coming
Wow.
from a white girl, a white singer, not a black soul singer, and wow, right? She has a heavenly voice.
Yes,
She's
she-
like,
she- and
just
it's
pulls
so much
your soul
energy.
right out,
Yeah.
and then just puts it back into your body with extra
Yes.
energy.
Yes, exactly.
That's a cool metaphor. Wow. I'm the metaphor man. Yes, I am.
So
Anyway,
she
so
makes
wow.
tons of hits, and her music still echoes today with many singers sampling her hits. I mean, this woman for forever will be
First ever rapper.
a female, one of the first
ever
female
rapper.
Probably in back then the female rapper. That's the earliest one I know.
And
Because it was
they were
famous.
even the Motown staff, everybody
Yeah.
that was shocked that, wow, this girl can flow.
Yes,
This
yes.
girl can flow.
She can sing, she can flow. I mean, it was amazing.
Too hot to touch.
This lady is something.
Too hot
so.
to handle. Too hot to touch.
So let's start from
And
the beginning.
So let's start from the beginning.
So-
amazing woman, right?
Yeah.
She was from Los Angeles, right?
She's from Santa Monica.
Santa Monica,
California.
Right? So Santa Monica, California.
Coming up
right?
from a middle class background from the Valley. I mean, it was generally in a fairly white neighborhood. And when she was growing up, she used to hear all the singers from Frank Sinatra
Yeah.
to
Ella Fitzgerald,
Ella Fitzgerald.
right? All the classic, singers
yeah.
like with just soul music. People
Yeah,
with soul
yes.
music, right?
Yeah.
And she with her three brothers and
Yes,
sisters,
yes,
right? And
yeah.
she started a band with her brother at a very young age,
Yes.
okay? And they just did cover songs,
Yes,
and
yes.
but they were still really good.
Yeah,
And,
but she always
no.
stood out. She always stood out because she just wanted to take the stage. She just wanted to sing and let people know who she is. You know, sometimes her mother said it's embarrassing because her first song was "Dale," and she would just sing it. And
daylight coming,
we
we
wanna
wanna
go
go
home.
home. Hey.
How do you sing it? How you sing it? Come, Mr. Jollyman, Jollyman Banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home.
Anyways, she actually has no.
I'm still singing. No, it's my turn. Doesn't he always interrupt? Right? He keeps going and going. It's my turn now. Right? People don't. You don't care.
See this? Quiet. Crickets chirping, birds crying.
So we continue.
Your ears bleeding. I see it. I get your feelings. People, I understand where it's all coming from.
I just wanted my time.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
But
Okay,
it's-
go ahead, finish your song.
No, it's okay.
What?
You need the feeling.
What?
Okay?
All of that?
You need the feeling, the flow.
Do you want me to be sensitive?
Wait a Okay, we'll continue. He moved to Oakwood, which is a more black-oriented area, dominantly black,
Yeah.
where it actually fit her just fine because she started to hang with friends, started to speak the lingo, and she just felt like this is her essence.
Yes.
And when she was in high school, she did many plays and poetry, and she just felt that this was her destiny, to be an entertainer.
And it was.
Yeah.
Right? She's one of those people, like Michael Jackson, like Smokey Robinson, right? Mick Jagger, right? John Lennon, Paul McCartney. These are people that God just hand created,
Yeah.
okay, and put them on earth so that they could entertain us and with their amazing voices, okay. When these people sing, right? Even God stops to listen.
Yeah, and with her voice,
Everybody,
people
right?
have to take notice.
Oh man, amazing vocals, right? 3 decades career, and she was still going on into the 2000s, right? And well into the 2000 concert,
Yeah.
right?
She made like 13 albums.
Right.
So when she was in her band, she tried to go to many record labels, many studios, and it was tough for her because she would carry her guitar. From what I heard, she would take her 4 bus rides to get to
With her band?
With her band, yeah, to go to these record labels. And
That was a thing back then.
Yeah.
Everything you had to do on foot. They didn't have social media. They didn't
Yeah.
have Instagram. They didn't have Spotify. They didn't have Apple Tunes. They didn't have. You had to literally do the footwork. You had to hit the concrete, and you had to go. And all the record labels were on one strip in Hollywood, and you walk down there and you talk to and hope to get your foot into the door. Somebody will listen to you. She went back and back over and over and over again, right? And then eventually
she got an interview to show with her band in front of Hitsville with Berry Gordy. When they heard her, Berry Gordy just loved her instantly on sight, and he noticed that he doesn't really need the band; he can have her. So actually, for the first couple of years, it was tough for producers because she was a unique talent.
It was really hard for them to produce. Like the general producers, the regular producers had a difficult time producing for her voice, for her style, right? And they just couldn't figure out how to place her in what category, where did they place her, like what was her place. So it was only 2 years that had gone by. She'd been signed on with them. She was assigned a manager, and the manager decided, well, hey, let's put you in a group,
Apollo.
right? Apollo. And these guys were the
2 of them were Berry's sons.
and then one other bloke, right?
Yeah,
and
they
she
were-
was the only girl on the show, or in the group, sorry. And their lyrics weren't very
was
friendly
kind of-
and
yeah.
kind of chauvinistic.
Yeah.
Okay,
Raunchy.
and talking about touching women's body parts and everything, and she was offended. Likely,
Yes.
why not?
Yes.
Right? If I was a female, I'd be offended as well.
So what happened was then after that, she told the manager, if you don't get me out of this group, I'm leaving right from the start. So the record label decided that, okay, we need to get her, really to expose herself now. And what they found, realized that they had Rick James, who was coming up and coming, record producer, singer, artist, and they introduced Teena to Rick, and Rick was like, I'm just gonna say, no, I don't want to have anybody, I just want to do my own music.
He loved doing his own thing. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then one day he just, creaked through the door.
She was playing the piano
Yeah.
and just practicing a solo, reversing a solo.
Yeah.
And he heard her and he opened the door and listened to her. They chatted for a bit, right? And then he went over to their office and said, had a conversation about something else. And then as he was leaving, he turned around, yeah, I'll work with her, right? And
By
they
the
said,
way.
work with who? The white girl. I'll work
That's
with
the
the
white
white
girl.
girl. The white girl. I'll work with her, right?
Oh, Ricky.
And that was it.
That was it.
That was the
it.
start. That was the start of Rick James and Lady T.
That's right. Yes.
Their careers, like they needed each other,
Yes, it did.
right? Because
They were like soulmates vocally.
Yeah, musically they were like not just vocally, musically,
Just kind of
right?
fine.
And so once they started singing and they got going on it, right? And then they started to develop, right? And they started doing some shows and
That's
stuff
right,
like that.
that's
right?
right.
Really developed into
The
strong career.
The first album, or that main first album was with Without a Picture. I remember.
Yeah.
I certainly don't remember the name. But this album, they decided not to put her face because they wanted you, from what Berry Gordy said, they wanted you to hear the voice first, and then you judge and make your assumption about it. But then later on, they wrote some hits like "I'm a Sucker" for Your Love.
The song, the album is called Wild and Peace.
Wild and
Peaceful.
Peace, that's
Wild
it.
and Peaceful.
Wild and Peaceful, yes.
Yes, that was the record. It's just a picture. It says Teena Marie. On the top it says Wild and Peaceful and expanded edition. And on the cover, picture was just clouds.
Yeah.
That's it.
No.
That was it.
But the music was great. I mean, when I heard it, I was like, okay, but who is it? So, anyway, I'm a sucker for your love. Reached the top of the charts.
Before we go on, why don't we listen to Wild and Peaceful?
That's a good idea. Why
So,
not?
here we go. Have a listen.
Bam.
When you came into my life, I was a victim to your charms.
So, wow, I mean, the album is
Still selling. It's,
Yes.
after this, go out and buy it.
We're
Bring it back.
advertising.
Okay, and you'll see. Listen to this song. There's, it's like it was a hot single back then. It's still hot, right? And you'll see how far advanced she was with her vocals.
Yes, she was
Right.
way.
The only other person I compare to her, right? Not like exactly, but someone who had a similar kind of success was Christina Aguilera. Because originally people thought that when she sent her recordings,
Vocal,
they
yes.
thought that it was not her. That
Yeah.
it was, and then when she came and to the studio at Capitol Records, and they said, "Okay, let's listen," and they wouldn't believe that that was her voice. They asked her mom, "What are you doing? You're exploiting your daughter." And they told her to go outside, and they asked her to sing without music or anything.
Yeah.
And when they heard her, they were just looking at her like, "Oh my God, this voice is coming from this tiny little girl."
Yeah.
Right, and so this was a similar type of thing.
Yeah,
right?
you're right. I mean, vocally, Christina Aguilera is a unique talent as well.
Yeah.
But Christina didn't, learn her own instruments, like teach herself. Like, I mean, Teena Marie was just a workaholic. She knew she was going to be great. And
Oh no, I'm not saying she was exactly like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm
I know
saying
what you
like,
mean.
but
I know what
she
you
had
mean.
the same sort of road path to music, right?
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Okay, and yeah,
So,
she
we
did that
continue.
album with song with Rick James.
That's right. The song title hit is "I'm a Sucker for Your Love." And by the way, let's listen to that right now.
All right.
Wow.
Baby, you two are a mellow fellow, and you're as rare as vintage wine.
Wow. I mean, it's just groove, vibes. Just keep it going. Wow. So that song. Look at it, guys. Look at it, guys.
Okay. Anyways,
So, did you know that song was originally for Diana Ross on Seven Figure?
it sort of sounds like something
it
she
does.
would have sang, right?
Yeah.
So if you now that I come to think about it, it is the type of song at that time.
Yeah, yes, sir.
She was probably going to. It would have suited her as well.
Yeah, but I'm personally glad that Tina got it. So,
Yes.
she also continued on to write with James. When she co-wrote this song, "I'm Gonna Have My Cake and Eat It Too," playing by instrument on the piano solo. I mean, this, like I said, this woman was just bursting out with talent. Moreover, was some of the second material was secondhand. With "I'm a Sucker for Your Love." But when Tina picked up another Motown songwriting credit, it was in 1979 with "Happiness," cut by
Apollo, the band that she was with, and
yes.
that she had actually originally left, right? Anyways, but that was more within the family,
Yeah.
Gordon's family, right? And they stayed. So it wasn't huge, right? But she still got credit,
Yeah.
right? So that was at that time and any time. Getting credit for your music, right, is very, very important, right? However, she didn't really get paid for a lot of the stuff that
No,
she
she
did,
didn't.
right? Because
Yeah.
it was often credited to other people, and so that was another problem.
Which
issue
is
that
gonna
we will
bite them,
talk about.
yeah.
We'll come back and talk about that. That at that time, that was quite normal business practices for record labels at that time,
That's right.
right? Pay the main person, right, and underpay the secondary person,
Associate acts, yeah.
right, or associated acts or the follow-ups or whatever they wanted to do, right? No matter if the other person, like if Bass P did the music and wrote the lyrics, I sang them, but I'm a bigger act, I would get more of the cut because it's my face, my image. but he would get a little here.
Hey,
Hey.
wait.
Go away.
No way, dude.
Shut up. You can't say anything. Okay? Anyways, so that was sort of the kind of things that happened back then,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And that practice went on into Death Row Records too afterwards,
my
right?
gosh, it's-
Which was a nightmare. We'll talk about that in the future, right? So, okay.
So continuing on, Motown's vision of Teena Marie developed a fan base wasn't exactly prescient because of the album with the Wild and Peaceful album. They didn't see her, but then it was booked in support of Sean Cassidy.
Yeah, Sean Cassidy was Keith Cassidy.
Yeah.
And,
Strong.
man,
Yeah.
they're wicked singers, right? I didn't know Sean Cassidy could sing, because I remember the movie Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
He was one of the Hardy Boys and that's what I remembered him. The blonde guy, right? That was Sean Cassidy, who was Keith Partridge. And you know the girl, the lady, the older lady, and the mother in the Partridge Family?
Yes.
Right? That was actually his real mother.
No.
Yes,
Really?
yes, that was Keith Partridge's real, or Keith Cassidy's, Sean Cassidy's and Keith brother. Right? They were, that was their real mom.
I have no idea. You know what?
Right?
Talk about connections.
They were real moms. They were like real parents.
Wow.
That was actually really cool. Right?
Wow. So as we continue on with the 1980 releases of Lady T and Irons in the Fire of her albums, for the first of those two, Teena saw Richard Rudolph. And if you don't know
Richard Rudolph, you've been sleeping under a rock. Okay?
Richard Rudolph.
Actually, the younger people probably don't know who Richard Rudolph is.
Yeah, you can say
The guy was like, he was a amazing musician, producer, writer, songwriter, and even he said like, hey, like you don't really need me.
Yeah.
But it worked out really good. That partnership was awesome.
And he was the husband of the late singer Minnie Riperton. If you don't know Minnie Riperton, from that 1975 song, "Loving You is Easy." I can't sing like her, but you know what I mean. She had that beautiful song.
Yeah, that's actually a really beautiful song.
Yeah,
that's actually a real. That's a real '70s song because. Anyway, Teena and Rudolph produced a song together. That album, did they produce the whole album together?
Yeah, they did.
Right?
They did.
The whole album. Also co-wrote some of the songs with him, right? So that was really cool. She actually going to get credited for co-writing the songs, right? And so
with that dance floor funk behind the groove. And
can we hear that?
Yeah, you know what?
Let's listen to that. I want to hear it, right? Behind the groove. Boom.
Wow, that's just nice hits, man. I mean, this was a number.
You know what?
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's like the 70s.
Wake up!
Okay. But the music, the sitar music from the Beatles, right? And of course, Teena Marie.
Teena Marie, man.
Right? And it was just the kind of stuff that you groove to, right?
Yeah.
And it was actually really cool because this was sort of working towards the whole disco era, right?
Yeah.
And so she hit her mark perfectly coming in.
She knew what she wanted. She knew what she wanted. And so with the hit of Behind the Groove, it was a number 21 hit on the chart, soul chart. And Teena continued on with co-arranging another hit, Aladdin's Lamp, a song with some resemblance of Riperton's work.
And wasn't it Murray Jones' original? It was something similar to her song.
That's right.
So,
which was
Winnie Jones.
Winnie Jones, yeah. And Winnie Jones' daughter, who was
Jill Jones.
That's right, with Jill Jones. Teena wrote another song with the LP Young Girl in Love.
Oh, that was written by Jill Jones?
Yes, and with the Dawn.
That's actually interesting. See, you learn something new right here on the Vibe.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
so Teena maintained another connection to her beginnings with the "You're All the Bookie I Need," written with Nicky Hearn.
Oh yeah. See, the whole word boogie, that tells you it's coming into the whole disco era. Burn, baby, burn.
Also, it was heard on the album is the speaking voice of Rickerton, and Rickerton's then young daughter of both Minnie and Rudolph was the daughter Maya Rudolph, who later on became a success in Saturday Night Live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Maya Rudolph. You know Maya Rudolph?
Yeah.
That's the daughter. Minnie Rickerton and Richard. Yes. Yes.
Rudolph. Okay, so you know, but people have so many similar names in Bollywood and stuff like that. Oh, Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
You know, one of those like how she got that afro sort of hair, like that dark, but she didn't. I thought she was Latino or something, right? But no, okay, all right, I gotta get it. Okay, all right. Wow.
Yeah, Lady T was only 6 months old when Teena's third. Maya Rudolph. Sorry, was 6 months old when Teena's third album was wrapped, and Irons in the Fire. Written, produced, and arranged all by the Teena Marie, Lady T, lady herself. And it yielded on to her second top 10 soul entry and first top pop hit, I Need Your Love.
Ask me what I need your loving. And that's the bottom line.
Woo!
Yeah.
That is good music.
Yeah.
They don't make music.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
No, you don't. You want to listen to real music? You gotta go back into the 70s, and the 80s, maybe even the 90s, the 2000s.
Anyways, so another big year was coming up for Teena in 1981. She went back to Rick James, right? And so this was good though.
But this was
really good.
changed your
Rick
life
James
forever.
was doing street songs at the time. Right? He was working on the song, street songs, a major song. And so he went back to Teena Marie because this song, he only felt that she was the only one that could actually fill that spot and do the song with her. And the song is called Fire and Desire. Okay, off the multi-platinum album Street Songs, right? And it was assisted another Motown act, Ozone.
Ozone, that's right.
And so it was like,
Wow. Fire. And when they sing, I mean, these people sound like they're in love, and it's like
they were though.
Yeah, they were.
They were.
But it was a short time, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was like.
In fact, can you imagine if you don't even like the person? I love you, baby, and I don't even like you.
But no, at that time when they first did it, they actually were dating already. They were love, and when they started doing the tour, right, of the Street Songs
That's right.
tour, while they were doing that. Before that they were hot and heavy and people didn't really know about it, and so before they went on the tour, she told them, I think I'm going to break up. I think it's better if we break up, right? We're not going to do it, and straight, and but during the tour, they still kept it really hot, like on stage, and everybody thought, are they dating? Are they staying? Are they going out? And they'd already broken up. But it was so real and so passionate, like the whole tour, right? And Motown took advantage of that, and they were making people think and taking pictures, publicizing them, and really working that whole angle, right? And then later they realized that they weren't going out. They were just friends, and they remained friends after that for a very long time. You know, why don't you talk a little bit more about it? I don't think we really talked much about Irons in the Fire, and I think that's because that was something that was just wild and lots of stories behind it.
You're right. So when you talk about while all of Teena's recordings are filled with a sense of gratitude toward her inspiration, it permeates that Irons in the Fire, and it's set up with nods and tributes to all the great musical legends like the Marvelettes,
Aretha Franklin, Donny Hathaway, John Lennon, another legend, man. Oh man, and the Temptations, Blondie, right?
Exactly.
And so these were like, and they were really big at that time as well. Like these, and even before that, like Blondie at this time was just coming up with Rapture.
Yeah, and this is where she was rapping actually, which led to Teena's inspiration to rap in one of my favorite all-time hits, Square Biz.
What's happening? happening. I'm Treble Lady T. I've heard a boatload of other ladies rap, but they ain't got nothing on me.
Go ahead.
Wow, I mean, every time I hear this, you know what?
People, I'm telling you, go listen to this lady, go back and go listen to her whole catalog, right? I'm sure there'll be about 4 or 5 songs that you are going to love.
Yes.
Even in this era, this time, okay, because this girl was magical.
Yes.
Right? Which leads us to from magical to
It Must Be Magic, which peaked at number
cool lead-in. What a cool lead-in.
which peaked at number 23 in the Billboard charts.
Yeah.
And then Teena Marie's highest performing release up to date. And it was the first Teena LP certified gold by the RIAA.
Yeah.
It was nominated
It
for
is
a
Grammy in the category of
Grammy
Best
nominated.
R&B Vocal Performance.
Yeah.
Right? But wow.
Despite the growing stack of accolades, Teena's relationship with Motown became so strained that it manifested into a lawsuit. And
But she won.
Yeah, because it started the Rocket Initiative, which states that a label cannot keep an artist under contract while withholding the artist's new recordings. And they only had to pay her $6,000.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna have to hold back your recording.
What? No.
Oh wait, no. You own the other half of the company, so it's like you can just release it. You can outvote me, right?
But you know, I mean, they owed her $6,000 and didn't even realize that they owed her that much.
Wow.
And that opened up the door for other artists like Luther Vandross, the Mary Jane Girls. So it all started from Teena. I mean, we have to give her kudos and thanks because
George Michael,
That's right,
and a lot of these other
yeah,
people,
that's right.
they all started saying, hey.
Yeah.
No, she actually, so she's a pioneer.
Yes.
Even in law.
Yes.
Creating a new law.
Yes.
Right? And she won that case, right? And she was free and was able to go
Onto
to a different label, record label.
Because the Motown wanted to continue with her, but she already had her sights planned onto CBS Records.
I think also it's because she had just had enough of the politics, right? Because first they didn't pay her for the first part of her gigs, and they did pay her a little, but not
Fire
what
and
the
Desire
value,
was a
what
hit.
the value of her talent was. They didn't really appreciate. They appreciated her talent, but I don't think they valued her talent financially, right?
Yeah.
So, and she had family, she had kids, she had to take care of at that time, a daughter, right? And so I understand.
Oh, no, the daughter was later, but she had family to take care of with siblings.
Yeah?
And everything,
Okay.
And it was
I thought
really-
it was around. No, the daughter
It was later in '91.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So went to the next hit, which was her greatest hit, up to par, "LoverGirl."
Yeah?
"LoverGirl." I mean, she was playing that guitar.
Oh yeah, that made the top 100.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And it just kept climbing up.
It reached up to number four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was probably one of her biggest hits.
Yeah. I mean, she was playing the guitar. She was dancing. She was like, even when she was saying, she just had that fire, no pun intended, in her to just explode. She was the dynamite. I mean, she had it all.
Yeah.
And she was nominated the second time for a Grammy for the best R&B vocal performance.
The award again went to Aretha Franklin. Right, she took the first one and she took the second one. So Aretha Franklin just had her number.
But Aretha's
she just had her number. She just had her number.
Yeah,
but that tells you, right, at the level she was performing at. Right? Aretha Franklin's like the soul queen. Like she is like the ultimate. Okay? And so to be even nominated next to her name, that must have been just like amazing for her, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so wow.
You know, after she continued on, she produced and wrote with QT Hush. And her epic sign backing band, she went on with an event heavier sound like for Emerald City, which was also contained a how do I say it? Batucada diversion. So in 1986.
Right? Which is like a little bit of Latin rock type of feel. Rock, jazz, and sort of R&B kind of a flow to it, funk.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and she also made more albums, Naked to the World and Ivory, issued respectively in 1988 and 1990.
Yep.
slicker tones, contemporary R&B style, with some jack swing flavor.
Yeah, that's when she actually. I think she was just hitting her mark now.
Yeah,
right.
you know.
So
the
this was going right,
problem
so-
was because they were making so many pop hits, and she was like making these smooth songs. So like the 3 final LPs produced 7 charting singles, including the instant classic hit, which I still play. Ooh la la la. You know what? We gotta play it. Ooh la la la. I can't even sing high.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
before we go, that was actually the song in Refugees.
That's right, the Fugees.
The
So,
Fugees,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Fugees, the Fuji La
Yes, that's right.
album. They actually used that, right? And
Yes.
so it was actually in Ooh La La.
Yeah.
right?
You know what, guys?
And so here,
We gotta listen to that.
Ooh La La.
Ooh la la la.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Anything you got me singing. Ooh la la la.
Oh,
Ooh La
wow.
La La.
I mean, when she sings that, oh,
Yes.
man, that's so much.
Man, I
passion.
just got that. I love the smoothness of that.
Yeah, it is.
It is
good.
actually really cool.
know.
Okay.
So,
So,
what
passion
happened-
play. Let's
Passion
talk a
play.
little about passion play. Wow.
So what happened was, she wanted to take kind of a break, and she became a single mother in 1991 with her daughter Rose, if I remember. But she continued to try to come back, but it was so difficult because it was a new time, a new era. So with Passion Play, a self-issued album in 1994, it was preceded by a few years of a break, and another 10 years passed before Teena released another album. The problem with this album was that she was trying so hard to do it independently, and back then with independent labels, she didn't have the major back support.
Distribution, major,
exactly.
like backing that she had with the record label.
It was after all of this, she took another break for 10 years after the Passion Play album, and she just spent time raising her daughter. She felt it was more focus to just spend time raising it, and she was very proud of herself, to make that choice, to spend time with her family, and after 10 years, she's decided to try again.
With Cash Money. Records.
Yeah.
Cash Money Records.
La Doña, yes, in 2004, and Sapphire in 2006, respectively. Yes.
Cash Money Records. That sounds like something that like Lil Wayne would do.
Yeah.
He's got dirty money. Okay.
So both entered the R&B hip hop chart at number 3, and the former also went to number 6 on the main album
Ooh,
chart.
yes. She was just an incredible. She was putting albums, songs. She was sitting at home, writing. Even though she took time off to take care of her daughter, to raise her daughter, which I commend her for.
Yes,
right? Like not a lot of people do that. Once they're in their really high point, and she left. Just think about it. She left after all nominated for a Grammy, and then decided, okay, no, my daughter's more important. I'm gonna take care of my daughter. Which and during that time, she was still writing songs. She was still and she had the piano at home and everything. She was still working, which actually influenced her daughter.
Yes,
Right,
it did,
and
yes.
she actually started to teach
aspire
her
to
daughter,
sing, yeah.
inspire her daughter to sing, right?
Yeah.
And so it was actually quite good.
Yes. So Teena, again, was continuing to make hits with "I'm Still in Love," with "Cash Money," with guest appearances from James, Gerald Levert, Smokey Robinson, MC Light, and Teena's daughter, Aaliyah Rose. That's what I know. Aaliyah Rose, among others, and the 3-week collaboration continued on with Congo Square.
Oh,
2009.
2009.
Yes.
Right now we're coming into your era, young ones. Okay.
With the release with George Duke, Shirley Murdoch, Howard Hewitt, and Faith Evans all aboard.
Yeah, Faith Evans, man.
Yes.
Another
And-
woman with wonderful voice and
Yeah.
like amazing. And we'll talk about her, Faith Evans, and Mary J. Blige.
Oh,
There's
definitely.
a competition
These
between the two. Ooh, it was
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
Right?
true. So on December 26, 2010, Teena Marie died of natural causes, and for 6 years before her death, this is what many people probably didn't know. She suffered seizures after being hit on the head by a falling picture frame while sleeping in a hotel room, which
They should stop putting those pictures above.
Teena's final studio recordings with finishing oversight from Aaliyah Rose, her daughter, were issued 2 years later as Beautiful, and John Morales presents Teena Marie Love Songs. So putting it together in 2021. So how will Teena Marie be remembered? I mean, this is a soul sister with so much dynamite energy, the singing. And I mean, she could have, let's be honest, maybe she could have been more successful if she played more pop music, but she stayed true to her roots.
She stayed true.
No, in the
and you know
80s,
what?
you know?
Still, she look at her, man.
Yeah, I mean, she stayed true to her roots. Exactly.
She's a legendary performer, and she stayed true to her form. And stayed true to her style, her form. She didn't sell out.
And she didn't sell out.
She did everything the way she wanted to do it.
Yes.
You know, in the beginning, she jumped through the hoops, right? But overall, she got what she wanted.
Yes. And but the thing is, she could have gone to the other side because she was that talented, that wide range. But this is what we love about you, Teena. I mean, most of your artists are of people of color anyway.
Peace,
we love
Rest
you.
in peace,
We thank you for being an inspiration to us.
Yes.
We thank you for the music. And I'm going to pass it on to my children, my grandchildren.
And I'm going to pass it on to myself
Yes.
and myself and to other people and to my neighbors, to my friends. Oh, hey, do you know Teena Marie?
Don't scare me.
Okay, so I'm passing it on to him. Okay, so
we
and
love you,
and all jokes aside, okay, she was an amazing artist, amazing performer, amazing producer, amazing writer. I can keep going on. We're tired. Okay, so but you know, she was
one of a kind,
right?
a diamond
Rest
in the
in
rough.
peace, and much love to her family, and you know, she gave us so much
treasure, so much valuable music.
4 decades of music, right? Is amazing, right? Not very many artists last that long, and not many artists' music lasts for decades and centuries to come yet, right? So people will be listening to her and Rick James way beyond, even after I'm gone, even after I'm gone. She's still going to be considered a legend, right? Nobody has that vocal. I don't think anybody will ever have that kind of vocal range. Right?
So salute to you, Teena.
Okay,
So it's that time, isn't it? It's that time, folks. It's that time for
no! It's that time for the hit list.
Top 10 hit list. Let's go. Wow.
Lately I've been laid up, can't cake up, put a Drake up somewhere they won't find it. And won't never talk much.
Super cold, Dr. Dre at the Super Bowl, super low, been death row before Snoop Control. 5 bricks in the G5.
Got the money just because of me. I only fucked with her once, but she in love with me. I got the drip, I'm mixing Louis with the double G. I took the
Not a doctor, but I put a walk in a pineapple Fanta and mix it like pepper rain. Walk a fuck, I used to play choppers for dollars, but now I'm on stage like I'm Gucci Mane.
You love me, you need me, nothing can change your mind either. On my way to drink at a big jet, 25-seater, can't find her in.
So I tell her get out, she said that you tripping, and just what I thought. This hoe got the bitch, the time that we spent, this shit is finished. I knew I was wrong, but shouldn't have
When it didn't fold, all them other niggas hoes. Out there standing by the pole, selling dope to buy some clothes. Cause I knew that attract the hoes.
Niggas hustling and robbing, I done went to the trap to the garden. Black man, on my back is a target. Cut my bitch off, back in the market. Get fucked by
keep stacking your bank, I'll get bigger. Never would, I throw some shade on my nigga. I'm telling you, little nigga, don't play with these niggas. I see the big picture, we up on that.
His switch for curtains, and I've been waiting so long.
Wow. Man, like I said before, these young guys are hitting it. They're kicking it. They're like, wow. Kanye West is coming out soon. Other artists are still coming back out. Right? We're coming out soon. Don't be surprised
You might
to
see us, that's right.
Don't be surprised to see us.
Help us out, guys.
You know you want to see us. Come on. I see you. I see you trying to click that critical opinion.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I see you. You're wondering what? Okay.
Our time.
Anyways, our time. It's that time, right? Hey, before we go, remember to subscribe right here, and also, you know, look at the comments down below. Leave them. Ring the bell. Ding ding. And also, check out our Critical Opinion channel right here on YouTube, right? And you can find it. All the links are listed down below for everything, right? And thank you once again. We love you guys. Have a great and safe week, and you know, keep up the fight. Keep up the battle, right?
Let's make a change. Really make a change.
Make a change.
Yes.
Okay? Peace, love, respect.